In July 2019, a financier with connections to presidents, royalty, academics, and billionaires was arrested on federal charges involving the trafficking of minors. 1 month later, he was found dead inside a federal jail. The official cause: suicide. But the case did not end there. It expanded into questions about power, privilege, institutional failure, and the limits of accountability. Who was Jeffrey Epstein? What has been legally proven? And what remains allegation, speculation, or unresolved controversy? This is a fact-based examination of the Epstein case, separating court-established record from public narrative. Jeffrey Epstein began his professional life in finance during the 1970s. He briefly worked at Bear Stearns before later operating as a private financial consultant. He claimed to manage assets for high net worth individuals, including billionaires. Unlike traditional Wall Street executives, he did not run a publicly traded company. Much of his financial structure operated through private entities, limiting public visibility into his exact wealth sources. By the early 2000s, he owned luxury properties in Manhattan, Palm Beach, New Mexico, and a private island in the US Virgin Islands. He cultivated relationships across political, academic, and corporate circles. Over time, his social network expanded into some of the most influential environments in finance and public life. Public records later confirmed that he attended high-profile events and interacted with influential individuals. Flight logs and travel records showed that he frequently moved between his properties and international destinations. These movements later became part of broader public scrutiny. In 2008, Epstein entered a plea agreement in Florida after a state investigation into allegations involving underage girls. He pleaded guilty to state charges of soliciting prostitution from a minor. As part of a controversial non-prosecution agreement negotiated with federal prosecutors, he served 13 months in county jail and was granted work release privileges. Federal charges were not pursued. The agreement later faced significant criticism. In 2019, a federal judge ruled that prosecutors had violated victims' rights by failing to properly inform them about the agreement. The plea deal remains one of the most scrutinized prosecutorial decisions in modern US legal history. On July 6, 2019, federal prosecutors in the Southern District of New York arrested Epstein on charges of sex trafficking of minors and conspiracy to commit sex trafficking. The indictment alleged that between 2002 and 2005, Epstein recruited underage girls and paid them for sexual acts at his properties. Prosecutors cited victim testimony, financial records, flight logs, and seized photographs. Epstein pleaded not guilty. He was denied bail. The trial never occurred. Public flight records, photographs, and visitor logs confirm that Epstein interacted with numerous influential individuals. These included politicians, business leaders, academics, and public figures. However, legal standards require an important distinction. Association does not establish criminal liability. Some individuals acknowledged knowing him socially. Others denied significant contact. Court documents, later unsealed, contained additional names. But inclusion in documents does not equate to criminal wrongdoing. No court has established a sweeping criminal conspiracy involving all individuals publicly associated with Epstein. Maintaining this distinction is essential. After his 2019 arrest, Epstein was held at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan. On August 10, 2019, he was found unresponsive in his cell. The New York City medical examiner ruled the cause of death suicide by hanging. Subsequent reporting revealed that he had previously been placed on suicide watch and later removed. Required monitoring rounds were not conducted. Surveillance cameras malfunctioned. Some medical experts publicly questioned aspects of the neck injuries observed. However, the official ruling remained suicide. The U.S. Department of Justice Inspector General conducted a detailed investigation. The report concluded that there was no evidence of homicide. However, it documented serious institutional failures and staff negligence. 2 correctional officers were charged with falsifying records. Those charges were later resolved through deferred prosecution agreements. Despite official findings, public skepticism remained widespread. No court has established homicide. Following Epstein's death, legal proceedings continued. In 2021, Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted in federal court for recruiting and grooming underage girls for Epstein. Her conviction legally confirmed the existence of a sex trafficking operation involving minors. She was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison. Civil litigation also continued. Epstein's estate established a compensation program that distributed millions of dollars to accusers. Several financial institutions later faced lawsuits related to their business relationships with Epstein. Proven in court, Epstein's 2008 conviction, federal sex trafficking charges filed in 2019, Maxwell's 2021 conviction, institutional failures documented by the Inspector General, not proven in court, a coordinated global elite conspiracy, confirmed homicide, criminal liability of widely rumored individuals without charges. Distinguishing established fact from assumption is critical. The Epstein case exposed weaknesses in prosecutorial discretion and failures within federal detention systems. It intensified public distrust toward elite institutions. But distrust alone is not evidence. Accountability requires proof. The Epstein case sits at the intersection of verified criminal conduct, systemic failure, and unresolved suspicion. It is a story about crime. It is also a story about power. But above all, it is a reminder. Justice is built on evidence, not assumption.